And welcome everybody to the big 50th episode of Dirty Deeds here at the Games Tavern. Welcome you. Have fun tonight. We're going to be enjoying ourselves. We got a little masquerade ball going on. As you can see, some of us got our own little masks. We're going to have a great time tonight. So grab yourselves an ale and take a seat by the fire as we go ahead and continue the tale of these lovely adventurers here before you. Make sure you go ahead and follow us here on Twitch. It's free and helps support the show, the cast, all the tech goblins working very hard in the background to put on every show we have here at the Games Tavern. Before we go ahead and get everybody caught up to speed, though, on what has been going on with the Fallen Star Company, friends, go ahead and pass on some of the knowledge we have acquired over this last 50 episodes.
One thing I've learned is that if you have Amazon Prime, you also get an Amazon Prime gaming subscription, and you can just click the button down below, subscribe with your Amazon Prime subscription, and it supports us, supports all the other shows that we have going on, and you get access to our sub-only emotes and our subscriber channel on the TGT Discord. So go hit that button, and remember to come back next month to do it again.
I learned in these 50 episodes how to be grateful to Shard Tabletop for sponsoring our show. They are the place to play your 5th edition games. We have learned so much in these 50 episodes playing with them. They have so many digital tools that they keep improving on, like spell effects and digital character sheets that are all customizable. We think so highly of it that it is the official VTT of the Games Tavern. And to make this announcement and this anniversary even better, you can follow the link in chat and use the promo code TGTShard20 and save 20% on all
20%?
20%?
20%.
Okay.
I know it's the 50th episode, but 20%.
That's as if the promo code is telling you. Like Shard,
right there.
TGT Shard 20%.
This just in, folks. I'm now learning that tonight we are giving away a Wizards of the Coast character folder and a mystery dice set from our friends at 1985 Games. Go check them out at 1985games.com and use code DIRTYDEEDS1985 to get 10% off your order. And not only that, but for the month of July, 10% will also be donated to Game to Grow from 1985 Games. Type !epic once you see the notice in chat that the raffle is live. You must be a resident of the US or Canada, excluding Quebec, and you must be a follower to enter. We will continue to take entries until the end of stream, so be sure to stick around, as you must be present in chat for the staff to contact you when we pick a winner. If not, we draw a new winner, so don't miss out.
So Shard is 20%. 1985 is 10%, and then they give 10%. So it's 10 and 10 is 20. 20
It's just a bunch of percentages.
Yeah, it's a whole bunch of
coming up
percentages.
nat 20.
Yeah, it all rolling up to 20s, which Shard Tabletop seems to like giving these guys nat 20s too. But there's some other new stuff that you guys can help us with though, right? Ro?
Heck yeah. I've learned that we can't do anything without you guys. So for you, Stream Loots is live now on Dirty Deeds at the Games Tavern. So follow the link in chat to pick up your Games Tavern packs. These cards can be utilized to help out characters of the show, meaning, me as I face my dastardly uncle, with things like inspiration for the entire party, granting a luck point for a player because I use all of mine and it goes really badly, or other collectible cards. There's even a card to grant inspiration to the DM if you're feeling feisty. I don't recommend it. He does bite.
Yeah, only you guys. I mean, help out. There's a card for Biscuit in there too. The legend of Biscuit. He's all over the place. Biscuit is everywhere. But I think it's time for us to go ahead and jump right back into the adventures of the Fallen Star Company. As last week, having just finished a fairly rough fight within the pavilion of the host, the temple, they were set upon by a group of guards who were there to arrest the crew for the possible murder of individuals within the temple. They were being arrested under the guise of disturbing the peace as just a normal procedure, as anytime somebody is killed within a conflict and within the city, people are detained until they can figure out who did what and who killed who and, why people were mad at each other.
Absurd.
I mean, it's the law, right? The law is the law, but our crew here, with their wiles and their words, were able to convince the captain of the guard to allow them to be under house arrest. They were allowed to go back to their ship and stay on board until the next morning, when they were allowed to go speak with the magistrate to plead their case. So one individual, Steele, who managed to disguise himself prior to the guards showing up, was left alone and was able to get back to the ship ahead of time to prepare things for their arrival. And they were even able to get rid of the book from the archives that Roe had stolen a few episodes ago. That would have been more evidence against the group.
Always dispose of the evidence.
Yep. Utilizing the dire wolf or no, you guys used Cafe, I think, for it, actually, because they weren't
I
going to
thought
allow you.
Steel
No,
rode
I rode the dire wolf because
That's right,
that
you
seemed
did.
easier.
Yeah, because at first you were just going to send the dire wolf, then they wouldn't let the dire wolf. So you just ended up riding them in because
We thought about sending Cafe, but we weren't sure what the airspeed velocity of a laden crow was.
Even
So-
if he grasped it at the husk of the folder,
my
like it
God.
wouldn't
Yeah,
have helped.
exactly.
oh, it is rare form for 50th episode, I tell you what. But after getting a night's sleep, the next morning you were escorted to the magistrate, where you spoke with him, and Roe, conjuring up a bit of courage, stepped forward and revealed her true identity and provided evidence to the magistrate of her innocence in the murder of her father, Elaine Devereaux. And we're able to provide additional evidence to point towards her uncle, Ulrich, as either the murderer himself or at least the one who orchestrated the murder. And that is where we left off. Well, no, I'm sorry. As this conversation was taking place, 2 assassins popped into the room and attempted to take out Roe. Every attack they had was very single-mindedly heading towards Roe, as if they had one sole mission on their minds. The crew was able to fend them off as the guards started frantically running around trying to find out where they came from. The magistrate, what was that?
Normie.
The magistrate gave you 2 writs. One absolving all of you from the fight at the temple the night before, and a temporary writ of innocence to you, Ro. That saying that you are innocent of the murder of your father, but are still required to remain within the city until the investigation into your uncle is concluded. Once you receive these, you all departed the magistrate's office and headed back to your ship to prepare yourselves for the masquerade ball that is but hours away. And that's where we find you all right now, on your ship, preparing for what is to come.
Oh, what time is it compared to when the Masquerade?
So right now, after everything that happened at the magistrate's office and the time it took you to travel within the districts, it's roughly about 1 PM right now. The masquerade ball will commence in roughly 6 hours. So in this 6-hour time frame, what is it you all wish to do?
So I would assume that for a big ass party, they're already setting up. And so if possible, I would like to disguise myself and get at least sort of nearby,
Okay.
so that I can scope out the caterers.
Okay.
I'd also like to touch base with Cecilia.
Okay. Your friend that you and Taryn had.
Dealing with, yeah.
Threatened.
accosted.
Yeah,
Oh.
but
Yeah.
I'd like to speak to her.
Lightly kidnapped.
Yeah. Yeah. That was a very interesting scene. Okay. What about the rest of you?
Well, I was just gonna ask, was we all doing this by telling us first, or is she just sneaking off?
No, I was just letting the DM know what Ro was thinking.
Oh, she's thinking it. Gotcha.
Okay.
Okay, no. Let's let everyone, and then we'll.
I have nothing to say.
So, Ro, are you planning on sneaking off? Or are
Oh
you
no, I
letting them know?
assume we're all kind of in each other's vicinity, and I'm like, so I don't know if you guys want to. I'd like to go check out a way to get in. I also think talking to Cecilia might be a good idea because maybe she can cover for us in a pinch or get us in if we can't waltz in the front door.
I'm
Thoughts?
sorry. I assumed that your friend is already vouching for us to get in this door. Is it not the case?
I don't know if she was convinced of the not murdering yet.
Ro, go ahead, give me a history check real quick, please.
Considering I forgot to open my character sheet. I know it's a 0 modifier, so I'm just gonna roll a d20 and then deal with that.
Okay. Somebody seems to be a little nervous today.
It's a nat 1, by the way.
Okay.
That's the end of me, I guess.
No. You try to recall balls before when you actually were still part of the family, and they just kind of are a blur.
Great. I definitely wasn't that interested in them as a person.
No. Usually when the balls took place, you kind of either tried to go and hide, or your mom forced you to, put on the nice gown and
Itchy and uncomfortable.
yeah, no, it's very much that scene of like the young princess who doesn't want to socialize at the ball. Yeah.
Got like daggers
do you-
tucked places.
Do you happen to know what the occasion this party is? If there is there a certain guest clientele for this one?
I don't think she told me, and I don't think I asked.
No.
So it might be a good idea for me to go talk to her now.
Taryn kind of looks at you like, do you want me to come with you?
I don't know, because last time we did a really bad job together.
He just kind of shrugs and goes off and does some stuff with Olana.
I wonder if perhaps it is. DM, can I make a check? There were probably events that I went to as a member of the 12, like meet and greets and whatnot,
Right.
and like those kinds of things. Has there ever been any dealing with House Tharashk?
Go ahead, give me a history check.
Any sort of like.
Oh, DJ D20 Den, thank you very much for playing the card to provide Ro with a luck point. As it's looking like she might need it tonight. Getting off to a bad start already.
DM, that's a natural 20.
Wow, both extremes so far tonight. Okay, so what's your total with history?
28.
Okay, so with a 28, yes. There's one of the times you were here in Sharn when you were learning to be a vassal. There was a party put on by House Devereaux.
Okay.
And you attended. You do not recall there being an actual guest list. It was more of an open affair.
This is like a Great Gatsby kind of jam, huh?
Yeah.
All right. Do I remember? Is it like a just setting a tone kind of thing? Like, hey, we're rich, we're just throwing a big party, or is there? Yeah,
Yeah.
that's kind of the.
So that's kind of the vibe that you got from it.
Okay.
Yep.
If it is anything like past parties I've heard of House Devereaux throwing, I do not know if there is a strict guest list as much as there is a looking like you belong sort of thing.
Technically, you belong as much as I do.
I don't think that's right. It's how you hold yourself, is to look important and then you be important. Fake till you make, as they say.
So if we bow to you the whole time, they'll just think this is normal.
Okay, this is not where that's going. Oh, you are actual princess. I do not know what you are going up about.
I'm not a princess. I'm just daughter
Mhm.
of mild, important, whatever.
So, I think though, if we are just looking part, I think we should be able to just waltz in, as they say.
Should I speak to Cecilia and at least, I don't know, maybe she could back us up. She's rich. Can't say anyone really takes her word for a lot. She mostly parties. Maybe, I don't know.
I mean,
go.
if you would
Well,
like to.
this definitely sounds super well thought out, guys. So I have a backup plan though if that doesn't work, but we'll go with Rose deal at least until we figure that out. How about that?
Caterers.
Better, but there's one downside, Ro. You would all have to pretend to be my vassals.
That's fine.
Okay.
Can I go
cool.
as a man?
Yeah.
Cool.
If you want.
Yeah, I'm gonna go.
I mean, I can shapeshift you if you want. I
Yeah.
have that option as well.
Yeah.
Wait, do I? Oh no, I have alter self. But I mean, prosthetic wise, we've got what we need.
A couple hours in the chair would be fine. So you wish to go and speak to your friend then?
It was wishful thinking, it seems like. Can I roll something to see if she's useful at all?
I'll say give me insight.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll say go ahead and give me insight.
Lord, I'm not wise. Ah, 19!
So the 19, the last time you spoke with her, she was terrified. And you could tell she was trying to give you the information you wanted, and she wanted to believe you, but she still had a lot of apprehension about it.
All right. Whatever. Leave her then. She'll learn with the rest of them.
If you would like, though, I do not know how much you remember, but if we are servants, there is not a lot of mingling with the upper echelon, such as your family.
Like I said, I might have a fix for that if we need one.
Apparently,
I
all
said-
my
I said-
plans are.
But also remember, it's a masquerade ball.
The way you did it.
And practicing
trying-
all day.
I'm trying really hard.
Yeah,
not to
I
make
was
a
doing this
juggernaut
while I was
trope.
at work today.
Mm-hmm.
Very good.
So, we go.
Yeah. First, some of us have masks that need picked up. I hope everybody likes them. I'll go get those, and then we need to leave ourselves some time to get ready to get made up, as it were.
Okay. If you and just, I think Halceris is like, okay, we can go get masks. Some of you need to bathe. And I look at Tyrion, and I look at Echo, and I look at, it's like,
Yep.
you have to get cleaned up for this party. This is not the hoedown in Nusia. This is actual cleansing stone is necessary.
I'm sorry, not all of us are pristine in nature.
Mhm.
Okay, where are you finding a cleansing stone?
I believe there would be one nearby at the local inn. Yes, the double barrel, perhaps.
Oh, so so you guys are you're in
Upper-
upper central.
Mhm.
Double barrels down in lower Memphis.
Gonna travel all the way just for
That would take you hours to get down there and back. However, you are able to find because it is the upper part of Sharn.
Is there one for sale up here? Like, would people normally just? Is it like buying a toilet? You just go to
They are. You can
go to Memphis Nards and pick one up.
I mean, yeah, you'd be able to pick one up. I think fairly easily.
Keep one on the ship.
Yeah.
How much would that be?
I'd say you could probably pick one up for maybe 75 gold.
Okay, I'll pick that up along with the masks.
Okay. Yeah, that's easy enough. So now you guys have a cleansing stone for your ship.
Perfect.
Now it's an orb, probably maybe what, 8 inches in diameter.
Mhm.
So.
All right. Then yep, I will pick it. Will everyone need to go to pick up masks, or else I will just cast Gift of Luck on. I had already cast one on Ro, but I will cast one on Echo and Tyrion, and then I'll cast one on Steel when he returns.
Okay.
I thought Steel was gonna go get all the masks for us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When he comes back.
I'll go. Yeah, I'm gonna go do a shopping trip. You can give me some luck when I get back.
Okay, so you Steel, you're able to go. You find the shop with the little gnome proprietor. He remembers you. He gives you all the masks except for the one that Taryn had initially requested. Because of how rude Taryn was to him on the way out, he kind of stopped making that one, but Taryn went back and got one under a different disguise. So Taryn has a new one. But he tells you that he was not going to make the one for your elf friend.
That's fair, actually. You know what? I probably wouldn't give it to him anyway. It's fine.
So, but you're able to get those. You're able to pick up the cleansing stone as well without incident. You do notice that as you're traveling through the city to go do this, that the amount of guards on the streets is a lot less than what it was when you all first arrived. You still see the normal city watch standing guard or kind of patrolling the streets, but they don't seem to be out actively looking for someone anymore.
Sure. All right.
All right. Yeah. When I get back, I'm assuming while I'm out, everybody else is gonna go do their bit.
Yep. Well, so I think everybody else, you guys are just kind of waiting, getting yourselves ready, right? Or is there something else you wanted to do?
I will ritually cast. It will take me 10 minutes, but I will talk with Echo for a moment and be. Are you alright with everything? You, forgive me, but you seemed a little upset with Ro for certain things.
Yeah, I still haven't had a chance to kind of air that out, and things just keep piling and piling. And I mean, at least she told us what she wants to do instead of sneaking off again, you know. But kind of worried. I don't know.
I think it is good that it comes from a place of love. This worry, it is, it makes you angry for. It hurts, but I do not think she meant to hurt you or any of us by doing this.
I know she didn't. That's not my issue. It's just that it I don't know how to explain it. It was just really scary to see her gone and her not telling us where she went. And then she comes back almost she was impaled when she returned. Or not impaled. She was. Yeah, what happened when she came?
So she had been stabbed a few
She had
times.
been. She was impaled when she returned.
Well,
So-
no, that was when she
was
came back with
impaled
Tyrion.
with Tyrion.
That was when
we
she was with
were-
Tyrion, right?
But something had happened.
She had stolen the book from the archives and she was being chased. She basically caught up with you guys right as soon as you finished fighting the fire element.
But wasn't she like, oh, or I wasn't, was almost dying.
You were the one that was on
Yeah.
the steps.
She wasn't there to have my back.
She wasn't there to have your back, right?
I conveyed that, but I was like, we have each other's backs. There's no doubt in that. It's just she didn't say where she was going, and it almost felt like, because we didn't know where she was, like what if we never saw her again, considering that everyone in the city is out looking for her, or at least her family was hunting her down. So I don't know, I want her to see that we care enough for her to consider telling us what she has in her head.
I understand this. It is. I put a hand on Echo's shoulder. It is good that you care this much. It is what family does.
Sometimes I feel like I care too much.
There's no such thing.
Like everyone can take care of themselves, and I'm just here always worried. And I lose control when something happens, and I don't like the feeling of that.
Have you ever? But you have not hurt us. It is what you do to protect us in those cases. I cannot be in the melee as well as you or Ro or even Tyrion can. I cannot do these things.
I know, but I also don't have any magic. Everyone else does. So if I'm out, then everyone else can still fend for themselves too. So I don't know. It's just a lot weighing on me, I guess. And so the way I burst at Ro isn't necessarily specifically targeted at her. It's just all these things kind of get held in, and I don't know what to say.
It is a lot. We live a very exciting life now that everything is coming up so quickly. But it's important to have these talks so that we know where we stand with each other.
Yeah. I mean, I'm really happy that at least she got or she was not excused. She was deemed innocent in a crime she didn't commit. And I hope she finds the closure that she's looking for. But still, I'm just worried about everyone always.
Me too, kid. Me too, kid.
Okay. So as you all are having this conversation, you guys, actually both Halceris and Echo, give me perception checks real quick, please.
Oh my. Perception.
13.
7.
Okay, so as you hear, you guys hear footsteps from outside the door of the room you guys are in on your ship. Almost hurried footsteps.
I go to the door.
Okay.
I open it. This is my
So-
ship.
So you open it and you catch the back end of a foot kind of going around the corner and running up the stairs to leave the ship.
Do I recognize foot?
Looks like it might have been Rose's foot.
I hustle after.
Okay. So you hustle after, and you get, just as you get to the top of the stairs of the ship, you look over and you see Ro standing in front of her uncle. with his hands on her shoulders, and they both vanish.
Just to clarify, just quick clarification. But
Yes.
I don't see what's going on, obviously, because
Well, you saw me run.
Yeah,
so-
you
Okay,
saw-
so I'm gonna run and I'm like,
Yeah.
what's wrong?
So you also you catch. So Halceris has that 1 second where he comes up and sees it and freezes, and then she poofs. You get you crest just enough to see them disappear.
Where'd they go? Did she run? Did she tell us she was leaving? Did she just run off?
It seems this way.
And so we're gonna take a quick step back real quick. So unfortunately, Ro does have to leave us for this evening. But Ro will be coming back as the crew's gonna figure out what's going on with Ro here in the future. So yeah, so we will see Ro again soon. Very, very soon.
All right.
Okay, Ro. All right.
Yep, I am. I look to Echo, and it didn't happen. It couldn't have. We literally just talked about thing.
I'm
Mhm.
taking deep breaths to be like, I literally just. It's like she heard me and decided to hurt me again. And you literally said that she didn't mean to hurt us.
She must have had reason.
Give me an Arcana check real quick, Halceris.
Of course. Uh, 4.
Okay. Something seemed off about Ro when you looked at her. You couldn't quite figure out what. Something wasn't right, though.
I am a practitioner of the spell command.
You are.
Did it look anything like that?
You couldn't tell. Not with a 4.
Not with a 4. No, I get you. Fair enough. How did they know? Because we had told, I'm not sure how, because we had told what's his name? The magistrate to spread the word that Ro had been killed
Right.
in an attempt to dodge this, but it's not happened. I do not think. Yeah, Halceris is starting to also get angry, but it was not her. He has done something, and we know where he is going to be tonight.
So at this point, you see Steel walking back towards the ship. Just looking jovial as
Toilet in
ever.
hand.
And we're all just like tense.
Mhm.
So
Hi,
Steel,
guys.
yeah. So Steel, you did not see this.
Hey, Halceris, so I got something for you. You gotta try this on right away. And I hand him the owl mask.
I think I take the box. Ro has absconded with her uncle.
I would say that's not how I planned things to happen, but you know what? I feel like there was like a little piece back there that was like this could. All right, well, I guess we're going with Plan B then. Are you guys cool with that?
What's plan B again?
Oh, right. So I guess we should go over plan B then. I think we can make this work as being, so I come from a tribe that takes their art, like making weapons of war, very seriously. So I have a feeling that there might be some people at this ball who would find that interesting. So I would like Halceris to be my guide to the city, who is showing me around and making me contacts and so forth, while also trying to what's the right word, to convert me. I don't know, Halceris, I don't know how much you know about the church and the relationship to the tribes, but we generally don't like you. No offense,
Sure.
it's not a personal thing. It's gods in general kind of deal. So, yeah. I figured I would just say that I'm here as a Deccan tribesman looking for some monetary backers who would be interested in some new weapons of war. Usually that carries some weight in fancy places like this.
Halceris, as he's kind of proposing this to you, you do remember that Onatar is the god of artifice, who's one of the sovereign.
Mm-hmm.
So,
but the goblin tribes are
right.
Atheistic.
Yep. Right, but if it was something you were trying to, if you was,
there's been a long history there of
yeah.
If
it was something where he's trying to maybe like convert you to the sovereign or something like that, that would probably be the direction to go.
Sure. I think it would not be wrong for all of us to have a guise for this party, but as far as this is a masquerade ball, so no one will know who we are as much as we just walk in the front door.
Invite, though, right? Like, I mean, it's still is it why it's just open to the public? Big fancy
How are we
rich
supposed
people.
to get in without room?
That's what I'm proposing.
Sure. As far as the last time I was here, it was simply to look the part. It is shindig for rich and fabulous. I would
Which
also
we do
say
look right now. I'm just gonna say we can definitely pull that off.
So, I mean, if they stop us, we can say a thing, but I think is, like I said, looking the part and faking. But also, I could use my real name.
True.
Till I render name is more respected than I am, but is
Wasn't sure how
open
much
doors.
of that you wanted to air out today.
There are plenty of T-Lie renders. One more at the party should pass relatively unnoticed.
Okay.
But that's DM is with that history check. I remember it being a kind of it's kind of like Met Gala with just people being ostentatious.
It's the rich and important people just getting together to talk, maybe do a little bit of business. But yeah, it's one of those things where we're just all gonna gather, eat till we're fat, drink till we're drunk, and maybe do a little bit of dancing while we're at it. Yep.
I would say it would be status symbol to perhaps arrive on the hover horse.
I like where this is going. But we need power source for that.
No, so while you guys were at the 12,
Mhm.
they did.
We got
They
them
Right,
reached there.
yes, they did.
they
did-
actually
they did override
utilized was it mud mephits, I think it was,
Or steam mephits.
yeah, to power the hover horses, so they are now permanently powered. They did all the alterations and stuff at the 12, so your hover horses or motorcycles, whatever you want to call them, work just fine.
the H2s.
Yes. You know what, that's that. Yeah, that
H2s.
works.
Tyrion, I do not know if you wish to sneak in. Seems to be a purview sometimes, or you can ride with. But if it is the three of us going to the front door, one should be enough, and it will look very profound. This new technology should let us enter easily.
Yeah, because if you recall, for those of you that haven't seen it way back at the beginning, you can check it out on YouTube. These were prototypes
Mm-hmm.
that were gifted to you for your services to the city of New Seer. So there's not really any of these around.
Nothing like this.
It would definitely make a statement.
All right, I mean, let's do it. Let's get ourselves ready and make a grand entrance then.
It's gonna be like Prince Ali kind of kicking in. Just
Yep. All right. So you all prepare yourselves for the ball. Coming up with a new plan now that Ro has mysteriously disappeared with her uncle somewhere. You all head to where Ro. You are led by Tavern, as none of you have been there before except for Tavern. So, because
But
Tavern
I
did
imagine
go.
the location is on like the posters, right?
So there's really not a lot of posters out there, but as you get there, you do see several as you start to approach the area, you see several individuals all decked out, wearing their little masks, all heading in a particular direction. Several of them, to include guards and all that too, as you travel throughout the city, stop and stare at your. Are you taking one or two of the H2s?
One,
think just one.
think.
Just one? Okay. So as you take that one, people are staring at it, pointing. You see them whispering and talking to each other. Most of them looking at it in awe. A couple people looking at it, trying to figure out, like, how does it work? Like, what the design because they've never seen this before,
Mhm.
especially going through the city. And then you start to approach the manor of the Devereaux family. As you approach, you see an 8-foot tall iron fence, and you see a large gate wide open leading into the courtyard before the manor that is built into one of the towers. And you see a large statue, bronze statue of a man who, kind of looking at it, you can see the paternal resemblance to Ro. Standing at the gate, however, you do see 4 individuals dressed in full armor, half plate armor, stopping everybody as they come through. And you do see that they are handing off weapons.
Oh, the people are handing off weapons. Wow,
Yeah,
not
anybody
them.
who
Just
showed up
Here are
with-
some
no.
weapons.
No. So
Party favors.
yeah, so that you see that people are being stopped and asking to turn their weapons in. And behind them, you see a dwarf who is taking these weapons, putting them into a box, closing it, and then reopening it again and grabbing the next set and putting it in. On their armor, you all do see a sigil on the right breast, which looks like a shield with the head of a lion, a dragon, and a goat. Which, go ahead, give me history checks real quick.
I I probably would know this is a house symbol, yes?
Yes.
Natural 20.
Natural
It's a
20.
3.
Okay. So-
That makes like a 26, I think, on my history check.
Okay.
Or no,
Oh, serious?
24.
Oh, I didn't know if you wanted me to roll.
Oh, actually, yeah, no,
pretty
you're good.
familiar.
You're good, right? Because you come from a dragon marked house.
Mhm.
So you guys recognize this as a symbol of House Deneth, the mark of the Sentinel. So, and you do know that they actually do pull guard in a lot of different places.
Mhm.
Echo, you're just in awe at the
Okay, never mind.
unfortunately with the roll.
Really? Okay.
Well, no. So you're distracted. You are distracted by the masks and the dresses and the outfits and the music that's coming.
So I don't
from the
notice
house.
the symbol.
Yeah. So that's
Okay.
right. So it's just you're just kind of in awe at what's going on around you. You've never been to a gala. You've never been to a gala like this. It's a lot different than the halfling festivals you went to when you were living out in the Talenta Plains.
Boy.
All right, so you all pull up your H2. Are you going straight up to the gate with it, or?
Yeah,
Yep.
Are we
I'm going
masked?
to-
Are we wearing our masks?
Mhm.
Okay, good. Like securing it, making sure.
I'm gonna over rev it a few times, give it a little gas, dude.
Yep.
Definitely make a show of it, showing up, being loud as possible. We're gonna showboat a little bit as we do this.
Okay.
As we're bringing it up.
While this is happening, I just turned to House Saris and I'm like, normally we're trying to be quiet. This is the first time we're drawing attention to ourselves. I feel very odd.
the idea is
I
that we
lean
are.
back and I go, look around us. Everybody's trying to draw attention to themselves. It'd be weird if we weren't.
It is so overt. It is covert.
Oh,
So-
wow.
Yeah. So Echo, you look over. You see one lady walking in the dress that's all black, but then you see like sparks of what looks like fireworks. Just
So
all-
walking fire hazard.
No, so it's within, like they're within the gown themselves.
I get that. Just,
Yep.
just kept his own fire.
Somebody just cast fairy fire on her before she came. Like,
Well, so you recognize it as Glamour Week.
yeah.
Yeah.
Light a candle.
But if she tries to go invisible, man, we're gonna know where she is.
Right.
Mhm. So yeah, I
So,
think pull up right
yeah,
into the front.
Okay.
Or valet parking.
Yeah. You see a lot of the crowd. Like there's still people just showing up, and you see most of the crowd just kind of stop and they're all staring at it and just watching as you pull up. And a couple of the guards come over. All right. Go ahead. Go ahead, park whatever this thing is over there, and go ahead, turn your weapons in.
Of course.
Alright.
Weapons on us.
Hmm?
Did we carry weapons on us?
I have a crossbow hidden on my back behind my cloak, and I'm going to not tell them about it.
Go ahead, give me a stealth check.
I'm good without weapons. That's fine. I can live.
Can I try to assist by being full car salesman with the hover horse? Be like, you will see these in a matter of years. First from the 12 is a brand new and styled hover horse prototype, able to cross Polenta Plains in fraction of time without any sort of feed. All terrains.
He's not wrong. Do I
Okay.
get advantage?
So it's a cross. What kind of cross? Is it a light or heavy crossbow?
Oh, it's heavy crossbow on.
So
on
those
my
things are
8-foot
big.
frame. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I only carry it because I am already twice the height of the weapon itself.
I will say go ahead and roll with advantage. However, it is going to be kind of.
19.
And okay, they did not roll very well. Okay. All right, any bags of holding, portable holes, anything like that on you?
Absolutely
nope.
not.
Shalom West. Shalom West. Thank you for playing a random D4 inspiration. Let's see who that is going to. Roll my D6 here. That is going to Echo. Echo. So you have a random D4 inspiration that you can use to add to any roll.
Thank you.
All right. So the guards look at you. All right. Head in. Have fun. Don't start no trouble.
Of course not.
It's terrible.
I lean into because I've had to be schwarmy before for being like, you know, when you have to request funding. So I'm gonna try to ham up the part and say, of course, thank you so much for your service. And I flick him a gold.
Yep. Thank you. Move along. Keep it moving. And you can tell like these 4 guards, they're just trying to get the crowd through. They're just, and they did not seem to notice your crossbow hidden underneath all your stuff. Yeah.
It's like the bends of it are over your shoulders, so it just looks like shoulder pads kind of thing.
Like you
That's
put a
exactly
hanger
what I was
behind
thinking,
you,
is that-
like
Exactly.
You walk like you got a little hunch.
Or no, actually, you just have a really
we
straight
stiff back.
posture. Yeah.
Completely
Oh, yeah.
straight, because it's basically
Oh,
straight,
yeah.
you know.
I can't believe you just snuck a heavy crossbow in like that. So the
Giant.
dice giveth and taketh away. All right. So he just kind of looks at the. Did you bring the bag of holding with you?
Yeah, it's on my back.
So as you walk through, one of them's like, hey, bag's got to stay.
My satchel.
Bag of holding, right?
No.
Let me see it.
I get allergies, and that has my potions in it.
Well, if it's got your potions in it and it's a bag of holding, you can take them out, but the bag's got to stay here.
I think it's a bag of holding.
If it's a bag of holding, yes.
No, it's not. It's
not.
just a normal bag. It has her medicines in it.
All right. Well, let me see then. No harm. Let me look, right?
Unfortunately, yes. There could be great harm if you were to break one of those vials without knowing what they do.
Look, unless you let me look into it, I can't let you in. I'm sorry.
Nudge Halsers, do something.
Yeah, surely. Yeah, like seeing kind of like some more crowd coming up. Is this the dwarf that is done?
No, so it's one of the house Deneth. So the dwarf, you see, he's just constantly grabbing the stuff that's brought, puts it in the same one box, closes it, and reopens it. And you're close enough now to where you can look and see that you see him put the stuff in. When he closes it and opens it, it's gone.
I'll just look to him and say, it is most important she has her medicine with. As a representative of the 12, I assure you there is no harm here. Please.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
I will just like grab his hand and have a platinum coin in it.
You're gonna do that.
Give me persuasion.
Can you have advantage?
The platinum? Okay. I will give myself advantage with Gift of Luck.
Okay.
Dirty 20. Dirty 20.
He looks at it. All right. Looks like you all are good.
Thank
I'll
you.
enjoy the party.
Of course, thank you very much. I look at them as we're going in this thing. I'm going. Is it so important? Let us
that
go
bag of
in.
holding's got a lot of good stuff in it.
It does, but there's the platinum piece just for 10 gold.
I'm also
but-
very concerned that if he was going to put this bag of holding in that box he has, we would all be in deep trouble.
Oh no! See, I had there. As you say that, you look over and you do see somebody handing over what to you is very clearly a bag of holding. The dwarf grabs it, goes to another box behind it, drops it in there, and puts some sort of lock on that box, and then hands the key off to the person that handed them the bag.
So it's check luggage
Yeah.
box.
And so, Halceris, you do recognize too on the main box, you recognize the symbol of House Kundarak, who they are the house that has the mark of keeping. They're the ones that run the banks and all that stuff. They're used to dealing with this kind of stuff.
I turn to Steel. Do not worry, it is a Kundarak box. It is secure as can be.
Yeah, I just hope Tyrion doesn't see it wherever he's at.
Why put this into the air? Why do this? give
Or maybe
me
he should.
palpitations.
Perhaps we need a couple more bags of holding.
Oh, good lord. Yes. So everyone heads on the swivel. See if we can locate at least someone here. Because we also don't know what her brother looks like.
No. So Taryn does.
Taryn knows.
Taryn and I think, yeah, Alana was with them too. So, so they both know what her brother looks like.
Sure. We are going into a party blind.
Yes, you are, for the most
Perfect.
part. All right.
Right.
So as you approach, you go around the large statue of, and at the base, you can see a plaque that has the name Elaine Devereaux in memory of on it. And it even says something on there about murdered by those he loved. And you kind of walk past that and you head up the stairs into the main foyer of House Devereaux. Music playing in the background is a very jovial scene as people all around wearing various masks and garments, all of them with a drink in their hand or an hors d'oeuvre in the other. The smell of various dried meats and fruits and nuts in the air and cheeses all throughout the air, as it seems to be a very lovely gathering of the social elite here in Sharon. As you see small groups of people having conversations amongst themselves, laughing, joking. Some look like they may be conducting business of some sort. What is it?
What's the food? What are the food options?
So you,
It's
okay,
that buffet table.
you work your way over towards one of the tables and you look down and you see just a variety of salted pork and beef. You see some cooked chicken. You see raw fish.
There's no starter, like appetizer table. Like this is the main course. I need like
No. So this is all like hors d'oeuvres.
Fancy.
Like
Yeah, these are the
there's-
starters. Imagine what
Yeah.
what the meal's gonna be.
God.
Well, so Halceris, you know that gatherings like this typically don't have a meal. It's finger foods and stuff like that basically throughout. You also see a little further down somebody with a keg of wine and a keg of ale, and there's even a keg that's labeled mead. They're just kind of pouring stuff out, handing drinks out to people. What are you all doing? As this is a nice lively group. You even see a small area in another room where you see people dancing.
I think Halceris is first things first, trying to take in exactly how large this estate is, and like how far does the party go? Is this like kind of there are rooms shut off, everything?
Yep.
Like, so you said there's dancing in another room, but like main foyer is dining and like the liquor and everything.
Yeah. So there's a large main foyer where you all are now in a large gathering. At the end of the foyer, there's this large set of double doors that are open, and it seems to feed off into this large ballroom-like area. Along the sides, you see two doors on either side that are shut at the moment, and you see a almost spiraling staircase heading up towards a second level.
Does it appear to be people moving through those spaces, or the stairway is clear?
The stairway is clear. You don't see anybody hanging out upstairs at the moment.
I turn to the others, say, I believe a little bit of reconnaissance is in order. Look like you are enjoying yourselves. I will...
What are we looking for?
Ro, I do not believe she would be out in the open, but I guess keeping an eye out for any sort of suspicious folks. They are wearing masks, but if they are Cult of Mordain members, their hands should have a mark.
I'll circle around to some of the more social areas and see if I can track anybody's hands.
Okay.
Hope that they're not wearing gloves.
Quick question. Biscuit with us?
I was just gonna ask that.
Can
Are
be.
pets allowed inside?
Well, this is like a
Yes.
showcase. That's like a hell of a cool thing, like off our bike, because then he can do smell checks.
Yeah.
They would have allowed you to take Biscuit in.
Well, of course, yeah. Well, that was in my original
Yeah.
plan. So yeah, Biscuits had some time to take in a couple of different cult members. I mean, he's smelled a lot of cult corpses.
He smelt a lot of dirty individuals. Yes.
But maybe see if he can if he recognizes anything that's familiar from either of from any of those encounters.
Okay. House Saris, what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
Oh,
I
And
I
don't
will-
forget my badger. There's a little badger writing on top of him as well.
Okay, that's right. Yep.
for the added spectacle, it's like a little cowboy.
Was
Like,
the direwolf not with us? Like, why does
No, the direwolf is gone.
No,
Oh,
the direwolf disappeared in the morning, and the next morning I rolled a badger instead.
Yep.
a little badger with a hat on top of Biscuit, just for the spectacle. I will first tell Steele, because the ink used in those tattoos has shards in it, they might be able to. It might be a more unified smell for him to track.
Yeah,
Also, if
I was thinking
he
of
can-
something similar.
If he catches any whiff of Ro, that'd also be good. I will make my way to the ballroom.
Okay.
I will walk past, get a drink, and then make my way to the ballroom to just. I will just see. Lots of masks are like obfuscating faces and everything, so I will just. I think I'll just put an ear out to the ground, hearing what the conversations are as of late, especially
Okay.
anything involving the Devereaux family.
Okay.
I will just eavesdrop as
Okay.
I party through. Just doing like the
Yep. Okay. Echo, what are you planning on doing?
Echo, I am like a middle schooler at a middle school dance. I am really just, I have a drink in my hand. It's water, obviously.
middle school,
I thought it was milk.
I don't know if
middle
milk is
school
there.
dance
Is
with a
there
drink in
milk?
my hand.
Is there milk?
They're
there?
fancy people.
No, there's no milk.
Yeah, there's no milk, so I
Darn
just
it.
have to find
Raptor
water.
milk.
No, there's no
Um,
raptor milk.
Yeah, so I'm just really taking in the decorations,
Okay.
vibing with the music, and my two chaperones have kind of like left, so I'm like, oh gosh, where'd they go? And I like scamper off, trying to look fun.
I wouldn't leave Echo behind without knowing where she's going next.
Yeah, I'm
But Echo, if you need someone, why don't you take Biscuit? He can sniff, and I'll do some reconnaissance. He can try to help you
Are we
find
going?
something.
Are we just sniffing around? I mean, I'm saying we, but are we sniffing around? Are we going like? Are we covering different levels? Like, what's the game plan?
I think once around for a big sweep, and then we will regroup here at the Car Tam station, and then after that we will consolidate and see if
And
we
are
have
we
found it.
undercover? I know we're wearing masks, but are we undercover? I'm asking if I should use my accent or not. That's the
course,
question.
Yes,
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 you
of course.
Yes,
Hush, of
hush,
course,
is
you should.
definitely
I'm hush.
Hush.
and you if anybody asks your award of the what's your clan name again? I
You could be a. You could say you are
award of the
the
12.
ward of the Lyrender.
Yeah.
Hush.
Lyrender.
You are-
Lyrender. You have to roll that R really good.
Lyrender.
Not too
You
bad.
are a. You
Wait,
are
wait, hold
a
on. You have
ward
to, and you,
of
and you have to, and you have to
Solaris.
bow when you say it.
I am a ward of Solaris. I like bow stiffly.
Okay.
Am I
Wait.
showing off Biscuit? Is that the plan?
You can. You can tell people that he is my creation because he is, and that I'm looking for investors because I am.
And are you using a different name too?
No, I'm still.
You're just still okay.
Okay.
Except it's spelled different.
It's
No, it's just
T-E-A-L.
Okay. So what I'm gonna say
So
is
branding is important. STIEL.
Got you.
so
Like a little logo on biscuit.
Oh yeah, there's a maker's mark.
oh, yeah. All right, so steel, because you're looking specifically more for the dragon marks. Go ahead, give me an investigation check.
Uh-huh.
How Saris, you're kind of getting a general feel. Go ahead, give me a perception check. And anything you're looking for in particular, Echo, or you just kind of
Well, I'm sniffing, or I'm not. Biscuit is sniffing, and I'm
Yep.
just following him around, but also like being like, "Yes, feast your eyes on this cyber dog." Oh,
Okay.
gracious. So I guess it's like
Try to get them to pet him because if the hands are closer to him, then he can
He can
might be able to
sniff.
smell them.
right.
Okay.
So go ahead, give me a persuasion roll.
Oh boy. Do
I've cast Gift of Luck on everybody, but you have to call that before you roll it.
Yep.
It'll give you advantage.
Okay, I will.
So you with gift of luck, you got 3 of them to use.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize that. All right,
Yeah,
then
you have-
I will take advantage. I wish I could recklessly persuade, but I
Yeah.
can't.
So it's one of those great spells from Cobalt Press Deep
Cobalt
Magic
Press?
that's on Shard. Yeah.
Thank you, Cobalt Brass.
Yeah.
Also, you have a D4 still.
You
too.
also do have
That's true. This is 16.
Okay, so you got a 16 persuasion. Steel, what did you get?
I have a 27 investigation.
27 investigation. Okay, and then Halceris.
19 perception.
Okay. So first we will start off with you, Steel. As you kind of go around, you spot just randomly within the crowd about 5 individuals who you can actually kind of make out one of the parts of the dragon mark on their hands.
Anywhere in particular, or just milling about?
Just kind of milling about. So they're not grouped up together.
Yeah.
Yep, they kind of seem to be part of the crowd. There's one of them you do see he's out on the dance floor just dancing. Another one stuffing his face with hors d'oeuvres like it was his last meal.
Do they have specific masks?
No, they're all different. And it looks like we just got raided by Tales of Initiative. Welcome, guys.
Hi.
And
Oh.
as you're coming in, we're actually currently at a masquerade ball partying. As the crew is actively looking for one of the members of their party who seemed to have been kidnapped by her uncle, possibly, or she ran off with them. They don't know yet.
Oh boy.
They're
Very
looking through
exciting.
all of the people here to try to see if they can find any clues as to what's going on and where she has gone. But yeah, so still, you see these individuals. They all have that same aberrant dragon mark that marks them as being members of the cult of Mordain that you all have become very familiar with. Well, again, they're just kind of milling about. They also don't seem to be in very specific positions either. They're just kind of amongst the crowd. Halceris, as you're kind of milling about, you catch maybe 8 or so halflings within the crowd that you catch either a glint of a dagger or just a faint bit of familiarity to the Boromar clan. A couple of them are actually just wearing the symbol of Boromar clan outright.
Sure, because like his Capone family, they are
Yeah.
known criminals, but like legitimate business family as well.
Right. Yeah. I mean, they're a family. They're just, trying to do what they can.
Also, they
what's
are
the problem?
we know they have familiarity with Devereaux family.
Yep. Yep.
So, of course they would be here.
Yeah. And Echo, as you're going through the crowd, and you get people who come over and they're very fascinated by Biscuit. Whereas there are a few artificers amongst the people who come and talk to you. They're familiar with other people's versions of a steel defender and all that. However, the fact that Biscuit is still partially the Biscuit himself, he's still got the fluffy ear and a few little pieces here and there that are still his original self. The fact that he was saved by the machinations of steel.
Oh
Fascinating.
yeah, and I tried to regale the tales of Biscuit and how we discovered him and how he tragically tried. I don't remember.
So
particularly remember
Yep.
what happened, but I'm just gonna say he sacrificed himself to save us.
Yep.
And we couldn't risk losing him, so our genius.
So if you recall,
teammates,
way back in the day, you all made a foray into the Mournlands, and you were set upon by a zombified Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Mm.
And Biscuit bravely led it away from you all and came back
Tailwinds.
mortally injured
Mm-hmm.
until Steel was able to turn him into the Biscuit we know today.
So
And as you're regaling this tale to one of the groups of a couple people who seem very fascinated and almost seem like they're paying more attention to Biscuit than you catch the sight of a tall individual wearing what looks to be a mask made out of black dragon scales. And you see underneath that mask, you also see very similar looking scales. Dressed in a very nice white suit, comes just sauntering over to you. Just kind of
is
looks
it
at you.
who I think it is?
He bows to you, puts out a clawed hand, says, "May I have this dance, my lady?" Go ahead, give me say
History?
investigation.
Investigation.
Well, because you're trying to see if this is who you think it is.
Okay. It's an 8.
It does not look like Scales. The voice is
Okay.
off. This is a slightly different build to him.
Okay.
May I have
But
this dance?
I don't want to leave Biscuit. Oh boy. I don't know how far away is Steel and Alzheimer's.
So
Oh.
a Biscuit can hear and understand you, and he just gives you a slight nudge in the butt towards him, kind of.
Give you a thumbs up.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I guess I'm not. I'm not very good at dancing, but sure.
It's all right. I shall lead. And he leads you out to the dance floor as the music starts to play again. And you two start to dance together. Go ahead and give me a performance check.
Oh boy. No.
Remember, gift of luck, gift of luck.
And so,
I didn't call it beforehand.
well,
You got that D4?
I'll do the D4.
okay.
What's that? Dang. Oh, D4. That's a 11.
Oh.
Okay.
I'm stepping on toes.
No.
No.
So you've never danced the dances of Sharn before, but with his guidance, you guys start to move about the dance floor, just kind of flowing casually. What is your name?
My name is Hush.
Hush.
What about you?
That is a very lovely name for such a beauty.
I'm kind of cringy. This is weird.
My name is Bertrand.
Oh, and nice to meet you, Bertrand.
What brings you to this fair city, my lady?
I am accompanying my friends and my lord. Is he my lord? Solaris? Halsaris, are you my lord?
Well,
You are a
how sir?
lord.
You can.
He's not there. Okay,
He's
dear.
not there.
But
Nope.
he said something. I am the ward of Solaris. Yes. So I'm accompanying my friends of the 12, and I'm accompanying my friends of the 12. That's what I said.
I do not recognize your accent. Where does it? You might be from.
I am from New Seer.
From Nucia. I have
Yep.
not made it out that way. How fares the refugees?
They're coming and going, trying to settle down where they can because they've been displaced.
Yes, very, very sad. I barely escaped the morning myself.
And you are from?
We just had the lucky card played, granting a luck point to steal.
Could really use it. I'm dying here. Anyways,
So have you ever made it out to the lands that used to be known as Sia?
once or twice, yes, with my friends, but I don't know too much about them. Have you?
No, I have not been fortunate myself yet.
You're native to Sharn?
No, I have traveled all over, but since the morning, kinda. I don't travel much these days, unfortunately. Surplus of my my wares, you see, has kind of dried up with the restriction of travel across the Mournlands.
Where are you from originally?
Oh, way, way far east. Down near Valinar.
Valinar.
Which you know is south of the Talenta Plains.
That's where Tyrion's from, right?
That's where Tyrion's from,
Yeah.
yep.
Cool.
So, pardon my my forwardness with this, but you're a shifter, right?
What makes you think that?
Well, and he kind of, as you're dancing, he shows you his arms. I have scales, obviously. I'm dragonborn, but your scales are a lot more subtle.
I'll be like, look at that, we match.
That we do, my lady.
Oh, he actually agreed.
So have you made it out to the Talenta Plains before, or recently?
Yes, I visited just recently with my compatriots over there, but I don't know where they are. So
Do you have any plans to return out there again anytime soon?
I would love to go back. It's beautiful.
I have a shipment of merchandise I need transported. Perhaps we may be able to make an arrangement.
What kind of shipment, if you don't mind me asking?
the exotic kind.
I freeze.
Have I offended you, my lady?
No. I'm. Are they livestock?
Perhaps.
You want to return them? Or you...
Yes. I am providing them new homes. Call it a rescue. Sorts.
Okay. Just wanted to confirm that it's returning.
So go ahead, give me an insight check real
It's
quick.
returning them to where they belong. Am I correct?
Give me insight.
Oh, I swear to God. 11. You can't ask me for wisdom-based checks. It doesn't
So-
work.
Surprisingly, though, with an 11, you don't get the sense that this is an actual rescue. Thinking back to some of the stuff you dealt with a very long time ago, the term rescuing and providing new homes for certain creatures usually meant black market sales of various creatures. But before you say anything, we're going to get back to that after we come back from our break. As this is actually a good time for us to go ahead and stop for a couple of minutes. We're going to give you a chance to figure out how you want to approach this, as you've just been given a business proposition by some
Feel used.
random stranger here at the party.
I thought I was hitting it off.
Before we go ahead and take our quick break, though, well, seeing how Ro left, just to go ahead and remind everybody about our giveaway today. We're giving away a pack of mystery dice from 1985 games, as well as a Wizards of the Coast character
Folder.
Character folder.
Yeah, character folder. So in chat, go ahead, type !epic. You must be a resident of US or Canada, excluding Quebec. I mean, they know what they
Sorry.
did, but
Sorry, Quebec.
yeah, sorry. And but you also must be a follower to enter. So we're going to go ahead and continue taking entries until the end of the stream. So make sure you stick around for that and see what else comes up at this ball. And you also got to make sure you're still in chat when we go ahead and pick the winner. Otherwise, we're going to have to pick somebody else. And, you know, that's never fun. If you win, you want to get it, right? But we'll go ahead and see you all here in just a few short minutes.
Hi, it's me, Scalathrax. When I'm not rampaging the world and trying to destroy everything in sight, I'm rampaging for new 5th edition monsters for my dungeons. And whether you need scuttling dungeon denizens, alien horrors, or sentient avatars of the World Tree, the Creature Codex has you covered. Nearly 400 new foes for your 5th edition game. Everything from acid ants and grave behemoths to void giants and zombie lords. 424 pages of monsters. They include a dozen new demons and 5 new angels, wasteland dragons and dinosaurs, all new golems, which include the Altar Flame Golem, the Doom Golem, and Keg Golem. And who doesn't want a few extra Keg Golems around their dungeon party? There's also elemental lords and animal lords to challenge powerful parties, chieftains and other leaders for ratfolk, centaurs, goblins, trollkin, and much more. New undead, including a Hierophant Lich to menace lower-level characters, and so much more. Use them in your favorite published setting, or populate the dungeons of your 5e world of your own creation. Pick up a Creature Codex from koboldpress.com today and surprise your players with monsters they won't be expecting.
Hey, thanks for watching the show. It looks like you're having a great time. Let me tell you really quick about That Benny's Paint Show. every Sunday at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Every show, the host and their guests will be painting miniatures live on stream. They'll walk you through all the different techniques and products they use to paint miniatures to a high standard in a quick and easy fashion. They'll show you all the different things live, and on top of that, the audience gets to ask questions, and we're going to answer them live on stream. If you've always wanted to learn how to paint miniatures, this is a great way to do so. And on top of that, you can paint while you're painting with us too, and chat with us and tell us about your projects and share your pictures of your miniatures as well. We love it when people share their miniatures with us. So remember, That Minis Paint Show, every Sunday, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 2 p.m. Pacific, only on the Games Tavern Network.
welcome back, everybody. While we were out on break, we actually did get a question in our chat from DJ D20 Den. Where do each of the characters see themselves in a year, and 5 years, and 10 years? Why don't we go ahead and start with you, Halceris?
Let's see. In 1 year, Halceris will hopefully all this business with the Warforged will all be taken care of. Everyone will be safe and happy. Well on their way to repairing House Kenneth, the ties that bind. 5 years, hopefully retired happily, not on adventures. 10 years, there is something equivalent to an old folks' home back in the Summer Islands. Hopefully retired. People aren't hitting him up for magics on break when adventures. But yes, so hopefully happily husky and retired.
All right, how about you, Steele?
Obviously Steele's going to be overseeing his factory, as well as like, fixing whatever misconceptions have been sent around about Warforged after this whole debacle.
Yeah, it's been kind of crazy lately. And what you got, Echo?
Probably. Well, I don't think that far ahead. Number one, number two. In 1 year, she'll be a year older, so maybe people will see her as 1 year more mature. And likewise, for 5 to 10 years down the line, hopefully she gains maturity with that time. But wherever the group takes her is where she'll go.
All right. And speaking of wherever you are taken, when we went on break, you were currently out on the dance floor with a black dragonborn who does not appear to be your old friend Scales. Dancing.
He hails from Valinar.
He hails from near Valinar. He said.
Near Valinar.
And he has made a proposition to you for the transportation of merchandise, as he put it.
Are we still dancing, or is this like you've slowed down and like gone into a corner kind of thing?
Nope, you're still dancing.
Oh my god, that's awkward.
Where the best deals are made, right there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So what say you, my lady?
Question for DM.
Yes.
He's just been using like very vague, like hint language, right?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to need you to be a little more specific and like clear with me, just so I have the total picture in my head.
In regards to what, my lady?
What you're proposing or asking me to do.
I have a shipment of clawfoot that have new homes, but I cannot get them through the moorlands. I need a ship that can go over or around. You're here. You have this dog.
I'm actually confused.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yep.
They're there and he wants to bring them here.
Yes.
I was getting so hopeful that they're already here and he's like going to take them back, but they
no. No. My acquaintances in the Talenta Plains have acquired a dozen clawfoot hatchlings. And I need them brought here for their new homes, of course.
You said your name was Bertrand, yes?
Bertrand, yes.
Bertrand. Okay. Can you give me more details about your proposal so that I can inform my compatriots and we can come to a deal?
Well, hopefully you will have an answer for me soon. Where can I find you? What is your ship?
I won't remember the Draconis. Sigma Draconis.
I will look for you on the docks. Tomorrow
Sure.
morning will be enough time for you to discuss with your compatriots?
Let's say tomorrow afternoon. Considering it's looking to be a long night, I don't know if we'll be up as early. If that makes sense.
The afternoon, of course.
Yes.
And he kind of...
Do you have a last name, Mr. Bertrand?
Bartron's fine for now.
Dang. Okay.
I look forward to your answer tomorrow. And he kind of stops dancing, takes your hand, and kisses the back of your hand.
I'm like really nice about it, and then I walk away and I'm like, oh!
Okay.
I scurry off, looking for Biscuit. Be like, we gotta go now.
Okay. As all this is going on, Taryn, you came walking into the party with everyone, arriving on your, what we are now dubbing the H2, or one of the hover horses. You slipped into the party with everybody else, and you and Alana were able to kind of shift off into the shadows a little bit. What are you two doing? You're unmuted.
Just look for Ro. I'm not sure where she went. I just want to keep an eye on things. Just look over everything everywhere.
Okay, so I'm not sure if you caught it because I know you were listening in a little bit, but the main foyer area does have a staircase that kind of curves around, spirals up to a second floor. And then off the main foyer, there are 2 doors on either side of the entrance, and then the big doors going into the large ballroom. So are you staying within the crowded areas, or are you attempting to go outside of the crowd?
In the beginning, I'd stay within the crowd, see what I could pick up if anyone's talking about anything, any details I can find on information. I'm dropping eaves for information.
Okay, go ahead, give me perception.
Give me a drop and eaves check.
Yes.
That's a nat 20 for a 28 for a
critical eavesdrop.
Wow, welcome back to the game, Taryn.
I dropped all the eaves.
The whole box. Just
The
now.
whole box of eaves.
Okay, so as you're mingling around, you hear several various discussions going on. Some of them are just very small, what sound like business deals, nothing too interesting. You catch a couple halflings talking about some heist that they're planning on some house in Upper Tavik's Landing. And stuff, mostly stuff like that. You do, however, catch one small group talking about Ulrich isn't going to be at the party.
And Ulrich is the uncle of the father.
That's the uncle.
Okay.
Also talks of Narissa might actually show herself this time.
That's Rose's mother, right?
Yep. And then whispered rumor, you also hear whispers of she didn't kill her father. It was Ulrich who killed Elaine.
Interesting.
And then you do hear one that kind of stands out. You don't catch any context around it, but you do hear the name Mordain.
All right. Okay. Do I have eyes on the party? Echo especially.
No, so at this point, I'm gonna say at this point, all of you see Echo leaving the dance floor kind of awkwardly, walking away from what looks to be a tall black dragonborn wearing a matching mask.
Does he look
Like
familiar?
I was gonna say, does it kind of look like when like celebrities wear like masks of themselves kind of thing?
No, because this is it looks like this mask is actually made out of black dragon scale.
Okay.
So it very much blends in almost as if he's not wearing a mask, but you can clearly tell there is one.
Does he
So,
look familiar? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Stu.
Go ahead, give me perception.
The 12.
Maybe, yeah.
I follow him.
Okay. What about the rest of you?
The plan was to meet back at the carving station, yeah?
However, while Echo was dancing, Biscuit had been
yep.
doing his snifferoo, trying to catch a scent of the ink that he's on these tattoos.
Okay, go ahead and give me a
or-
perception for Biscuit.
Yeah. So I rolled with him when everybody else had
Okay.
done their rolls. And it was a natural 20 plus his 5, so 25.
Okay, so he does kind of catch a little bit of scent of the because it's kind of hard to get a scent off of a tattoo, but there is a familiar scent among a few of the patrons, and they happen to be some of the same ones you spotted that had the aberrant dragon marks. And then at one point, you see him go out of the ballroom and start heading back towards the foyer.
I'll go catch up with him.
Okay. You see him kind of just sniffing around, and he heads off to one of the doors to the right of the entrance.
I check it.
Door is locked.
Hey, Biscuit, I need you to go cause me a distraction. Why don't you and the and our little badger friend, why don't you guys go cause a little ruckus on the dance floor? And I'm gonna grab the little badger and tell him, go on, run. And the badger runs, and Biscuit starts chasing after him, full bark, everything, and just takes off.
Okay. And you see a lot of the crowd.
Trying to hurt him, just
no.
keep the chase going on and jump between people that are dancing and just cause havoc.
You see several of the crowd start to, hey, who brought the wild animals in here? Get them out. You got
Very much a Beethoven situation.
yeah,
Yes.
and you got several people trying to catch the badger.
Okay.
So go ahead, give me acrobatics for the badger.
Sure. Let me look up his stats. Just one second. I've got it right here. It's not gonna take long.
Acrobatics.
Okay. Acrobatics, which he does not have. He's just got flat decks. So 19.
Okay, so he's able to dodge the first group that tries to grab him. What are you doing?
I'm going to pull out the lockpicks and I'm gonna crack this thing open.
Okay. Go ahead, give me a lockpick check.
26.
Okay, now go ahead, give me a stealth check as well to see if you can. I mean, you're trying to do this sneakily, I'm guessing.
Do
right?
I have advantage on the stealth for the distraction?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's a large crowd, but yeah.
See if they're that would put me at a 15.
So you sit there, fiddle around with it for a few moments, and you get the first couple tumblers, and then it resets itself.
Well, that was for the stealth check. He
Oh
already
shit!
rolled it.
No,
Yeah, that was
Yep,
a stealth
you're
check.
right.
The other roll was with a +10. It was a 26.
Okay. That's right. Yeah, no, you're right. I got them backwards. So yeah, so you're able to unlock the door, and just as you hit the click, you hear somebody back behind. Hey, what you doing over there? You see a small group of individuals that were chatting, looking over at you, kind of looking at the doorknob.
I'll just open it and walk in.
Okay. So you open it up, walk in, and you walk into what looks to be a office. You got a lone desk sitting in the middle. You got a fireplace back behind the desk with a roaring fire burning in it.
I lock it behind me.
Okay, you close the door and lock it behind you. All right. We'll go back out to the rest of the people real quick. Halceris, Biscuit's going crazy chasing the badger.
What the shit? This was not the. What the shit? And Halceris is smart enough to know that Biscuit isn't an animal. Biscuit won't do this without orders. So I'm looking around. Because I'm back at the carving station. This was the plan, to come back and then relay stuff. So I'm back at the carving. I have like a roast beef slider in my hand.
So you and Echo actually meet each other there as this kicks off.
And look, I have roast beef slider. It's made with popover. It's very nice. It's, do I see steel anywhere? I'm looking. A large hobgoblin.
Yep. So you do not see Steel through the crowd. You don't see him.
Okay. I look to Echo. I think probably his plan. His plan, right?
You are muted.
I pulled a steal. Happy 50, everyone.
Hey now. Hey now.
I'm honoring you. Anyways.
Everybody is. Tyrion's doing it. Echo's doing it. I'm the only one who's
Exactly.
muted. Not muted.
Anyways, I was gonna say, he was behaving fine just before everything else happened. So clearly there's something up. Should we follow Biscuit or should we see what's up? We can split as well.
Well, I relay what I've seen. I've seen several Boromars walking around. They are holding weaponry, which
How come
is.
they got weapons? Oh, fair.
I think probably because they not play by rules. It's bad guys being
Okay.
bad guys.
Almost like they might have bribed them. Wait.
It's like he's fine. Like is just daggers. I think you are probably more deadly than they are in this case. But
I hope so.
I see you out on dance floor. It's nice. It's fun.
Yeah, I thought it was fun, and then he started talking business, and I got really upset because I was like, is that all you asked me to dance for, was to talk about business? I thought there was something more, but clearly not.
What business did you say you were doing?
I didn't say I was a business person whatsoever. He had a business proposal. I completely lied about everything about where I'm from because I didn't want to give anything away. But
Smart, very
Yes,
smart.
yes.
This is you do not want to give any personal
he was like,
information.
"Oh, by
here.
the way," he asked me where my accent is from, and I don't know where your accent is from. Where are you?
I am from the Summer Island to the north. Is the House of Lyrander is on Stormhome.
Okay. Well, I didn't know that, so I just said I'm from UCR.
Okay,
Yeah.
it's fine.
And I'm like telling him everything that's going, and then he wants to smuggle some clawfoots up here.
So as you say that, Taryn and Alana come walking up behind you.
But it's like
you'll-
smuggle, so you don't really see my lips move.
You guys also notice the badger just takes off and runs back out the front, like the front door, and Biscuit just runs to the door and just starts barking at him like he chased it out.
Go ahead, give me another dex check for the badger.
what is it? The Benny Hill music.
Yeah. The Badger is a 3 on that dex check.
So he doesn't make it to the door. A couple individuals reach down and actually grab hold of the Badger. And he cut their hands up pretty good. But they now have a solid grasp of the Badger. Whose wild animal is this?
I see Echo's eyes perk. I'm just like, to point to the buffet table. Not this.
What if I tell him it's like my comfort animal for my allergies?
No, look, it roast beef.
When nobody chimes in, they walk towards the front entrance and they just chuck it out the front door. And then Biscuit goes running up and
I look at Echo like that and I'm just like, Steel knows what he is doing, but if we are cut on hook, then we are out of party, and we have not found Ro yet.
It's not fair.
He's bad. He will be gone by morning. He's Badger.
No.
With that, I would like, so Biscuit's going to return to the group, and
Okay.
Is there a window into this room from the outside?
No.
Okay.
There's actually no windows in that you see in here. And there's no window in the office you're in, there's no window either.
Interior.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying is
Yeah.
the Badger's actually circling the building, trying to find a new way in that's going to
It's a large tower.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
He's just looking around, looking for
So-
a quiet side entrance.
Okay. So the rest of the group, you guys see Biscuit come over to you.
I'm trying to look aloof. It's a very interesting build on this Steel Defender.
Is
Quite
Steel around?
impressive.
You don't see
Steel's
Steel.
nice.
Okay,
Still
so
like
I'm gonna go into my spiel of like talking about the dog and like
Okay.
like yes, he saved our life and sacrificed himself, and our genius friend Steel resurrected him and made him this beautiful Steel Defender. But he defends us all too.
Taryn, what are you doing?
You said we met back up
Yeah.
at the carpet
Yeah, because
table?
as you're kind of doing your rounds, looking around, you came across Halceris and Echo at the little carving table.
So I didn't get to follow the dragon guy.
Oh, right. No, you did follow him. That's right. I forgot.
Yeah, I send Alana to, because I assume she was with me dropping eaves. So I send her to the table to
Okay.
tell the rest of the party everything we heard.
Okay. And then, so you approach the Dragonborn, who right now is actually currently in a conversation with a couple halflings.
Or more halflings or just regular halflings?
Give me a perception check.
I'll 19. Perceive
Okay,
those
so-
guys.
So with the 19, you kind of look at it, you don't see any symbology for the Boromar clan. However, looking at the dress of one of them, he seems to very clearly he's probably a captain of some vessel.
All right, gears are turning. So all right, so his back is turned to me, right?
Yep.
Wait, has Tyrion been following that individual?
Yeah.
Bertrand? Okay. Just double check.
So big and loud, I say, "Hey!"
He turns around and looks at you. He's like, "Hey,
And I just glare at him like, "What? Oh no.
do I know you?"
No, I thought I knew you.
Mm.
No, I saw you
No.
talking to that person shoot scales. I was like, oh, I think I know someone that might know, but you're not who I thought you were.
Are you friends with the one shifter lady?
No. Why do you think we are?
Hey, I told him my name. I thought he would say, "Are you friends with Hush?" Guess not.
That's a burn
Doesn't
right
learn
there.
people's names. Oh, he's even worse
Oh.
than I thought.
Just shifter lady to you. Okay.
Wow. That's just horrible. That's a horrible person. No. No, it might be. Which one's the shifter lady?
You see him kind of look through the crowd. I don't see her in here because right now you're in the big ballroom area.
And now that I'm closer to him, do I don't know who this person is whatsoever, right?
No, the voice is completely off. It is not your old friend Scales.
I just wanted to know if I know him.
Yeah.
I know one large black dragonborn, and
This is not him.
he has other black dragonborns with it that, you know, from him. So I thought I knew who they were, but it's fine. It's fine. Well, all right. And I slap him on his back a little bit too hard.
Ugh.
Like, well, yeah. And I walk away. And
He turns back around to the halflings and starts talking. You hear the halflings kind of chuckle as you walk away.
I don't hear what was said before I walked up or when I walked away, right?
No.
All right. That didn't go as planned. I just go upstairs then. That's my next move.
Okay.
I'm up the spiral staircase.
Okay. So you go out, you start doing that. Halceris and Echo, at this point, as you guys have been having your conversation, you see somebody's climbing the staircase. It's your friend Tavern.
The actual shit of the 12. The
Oh, look who
takes
decided
his
to finally
champagne.
show up.
Seeing Tyrion, Biscuit kind of makes a light little like whine of like, like he's very frustrated. and Halceris, he actually does the thing where he just nudges your hand a little bit with just the end of his nose.
Yes, Biscuit. What is it? Is Steel nearby? I finish my champagne because this is all going great.
He kind of grabs your coat real quick and kind of tugs you.
Yeah, he just circles and starts walking towards the hallway.
We'll follow Biscuit. I guess.
So
I
Biscuit
will
he brings you
Echo
over
too.
towards the door. That's just to the right of the entrance. So as you guys came into the house, off to the right there was the two doors. He's bringing you to the one that's closest to the front of the house.
Okay. Are there any people? Because Steel, not to meta, but Pete was. They saw him kind of. Is anyone gathered around that door?
You see what looks to be a small group chat, and then they keep looking back at the door.
Okay. I will.
There's three individuals that seem to be talking about it.
Sure. I will look at them. I will look to Echo and say, turn my back to them, look at her and say, just continue to talk to me and nod your head.
Roger.
I look to Biscuit and say, he is in this door.
Biscuit's gonna take his paw and do what my dog likes to do and just go and just like doesn't claw at it, just kind of lightly punches the door so it makes a light noise.
All right. So I'm keeping a little bit distance from there, and then I will. And let me double check one thing quickly. All right. I will look at Echo, and it's fun. I put my hand on Echo. Oh, I was going for a laugh. But I will look like I'm helping her, but I'm going to cast Arcane Eye.
Okay.
And so I make a little sensor that is invisible to everyone, and it can pass through gaps as small as 1 inch. I would like to send it either through the keyhole or through under the door.
Okay. Are you
to
trying
just
to
look at office.
you're trying to conceal you casting this, right?
Yep, I'm using Echo as kind of buffer for my. It has verbal and somatic.
Okay, so go ahead, give me a sleight of hand, and because you're getting
while
the
they-
assistance from Echo with advantage.
while they were talking, can I gently toss the room, see if I can notice anything out of the ordinary?
Yep, we're gonna get to that in just a second.
Okay.
Advantage. Fuck. 6.
Okay. Yeah, you tried covering it up. But a couple of the other people glance over at you. I'm looking at you like, what is this person doing?
Sure.
All right, so inside this office, Steel, what are you looking for in particular?
Well, I'm trying to find out what Biscuit was pointing for. Just to try to get a sense of what he was trying to point out. So either people or items or bro tied up in the side of
Okay.
in a cupboard.
Yep. So you do not see anybody in here. There are a couple cupboards. There's the desk. Go ahead.
Can I investigate the room?
Yep. Go ahead. Give me investigation.
Oh, can I luck? I'm not going to look at that dice. Can I
Okay.
use my luck point?
Yep.
Okay. All right. 29.
All right. So 29. You start looking through. You kind of look in the little cabinets, and you see different kinds of jackets or robes, different clothing. You see some nice shoes, stuff like that. You work your way around to the desk, and you start kind of going through some of the desks. You see different quills and some inks. You actually do find a quill that does not require ink. It's one of the ones that just produces its own ink as you write with it. And then one of the drawers to the desk is actually locked.
I will attempt to pick that one as well. I would like to also investigate real quick just to make sure there's no special alarms or traps or anything associated to it.
Okay, so go ahead and give me the investigation first.
23.
So as you looking through, you do notice that within the locking mechanism itself, it does have a spring trap with a needle.
Okay, can I use my tools to gently take it apart?
Yep, go ahead, give me the Tinker's check.
Okay. That will be a 27.
You just start fiddling around with it, and you're able to
No, wait.
disarm.
Hold on, I the rules on that one are a little different because it's double proficiency, but it's still. No, yeah, that's right. Okay, 27. Yeah.
Okay, yep, you're able to disarm this trap, no problem.
Okay, and then I'll
Now the lock
try to open it.
Yep.
That's a natural 1 for an 11.
You start going through, and you almost break your lock picks, but you're able to stop yourself before it happens, and you were not able to unlock it.
Could I take a few minutes to essentially like take a 10 to spend a little bit longer trying to get this thing open?
Okay. Before we get to that,
Yep.
Taryn, you start ascending the spiral staircase, and you notice how Saris and Echo kind of are walking off towards one of the doors on the side. As you approach the top of this spiral staircase, you find yourself face to face with two individuals. One of which you recognize as Alistair Devereaux, Ro's brother that you had met on the lift. And he has a tall, beautiful looking woman on his arm. Hair, gray hair kind of pulled back into a long braid. A very long, elegant, tight, form-fitting dress in a dark blue. As they start to descend the stairs, go ahead and give me a perception check with advantage.
Yay.
It's just Tyrion giving the perception check.
17.
So with the 17, she looks almost identical to Ro. Very, very close resemblance. This you you surmise is Ro's mother. And they just kind of, as they went to go take the first step down the stairs and they see you, they stop.
Ah, just the people I was looking for.
And Alice, so remind me, when you met Alistair before on the lift, you guys were disguised, right?
Yes.
Okay, so he does not recognize you.
Great.
You should be in a mask, though, right?
I'm in a mask, and
Yeah.
I have a contact in. I wasn't here to explain all that, but I have a contact in, so my eyes are the same color.
Okay.
And the left side of my hair is colored to match the right side. That's to not arouse suspicion.
Okay, so he just kind of looks at you, he's like, what are you doing? What are you doing? This area is off limits but to the family.
Yeah. There's an emergency, and I hoped you'd understand that.
What is
That-
your name, sir?
My name. Well, my name is Tavern.
And what is your business? What is this emergency you speak of? As he kind of lets go of his mother's arm.
I look around. We're the only 3 people here, right?
That you can see, yes.
I can see. I lean in just a bit closer to him. I need to talk to you about Ro. Well, not Natalia's her name, right?
Yes, you have heard Natalia is her
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
name. You've known her as Ro.
Yeah.
the whole time
I
you've known her, but
know
yes.
Ro, but I was just making sure I knew that her name was Natalia.
Yeah.
Because Sid knows. Just want to make sure Tara
Yeah.
knows.
No, Taryn knows.
Yeah. I need to talk to you both about Natalia.
So as you say that, Alistair,
Let's say it in a whisper.
yeah. So Alistair kind of looks at you, like he's studying you for a second, and you see Ro's mother. Just she was kind of just ignoring you for the most part, but as soon as you said Natalia, her eyes just staring right at you.
Yeah, so emergency, and I turned to Alistair and I said, "No stabbing in the back this time, please."
What
They give
about-
him a wink.
And you see he kind of gets that hint of remembrance. Where's my sister?
That's what we like to know.
What do you mean?
All right. I don't want to draw any more attention as much as this probably has. Where staircase open, was talking to you too. So
Well, so you guys are probably about 12 feet up above the rest of the crowd right now.
we're not. I mean, like, are we visible? Could someone just look up and just see us on the
They
staircase?
can see you guys talking, yes. But
Yeah,
they,
that's what I don't want. We can continue this conversation, but I don't think this is a place to have it.
Well, we've just shown ourselves they are expecting us.
Yeah,
Body.
that's fine. There's a few friends of mine that should probably be part of this conversation as well. So please don't let me stop you from showing your faces at the party.
Let us mingle for a little while and we will meet in one of our offices downstairs.
Very
And
well.
he looks over at his mom and she kind of nods. Whole time she's just been looking right at you.
I aside from telling Alistair not to stab me in the back again, I haven't broken her gaze.
Okay, so you're staring straight at her talking to Alistair.
No, I turned to Alistair,
Okay.
no stabbing me in the back. I turned back. The whole time, as soon as she started staring at me. I haven't broken the gaze, so she can see how sincere I am about the emergency, the height of emergency of the situation.
Okay, give me an insight check real quick.
17.
Okay, for the 17, you get a sense of nervous energy from her. Like she's all of a sudden, you mentioning that Rose missing or you don't know where she is kind of got her shook a little bit. But
Alright.
also a bit of anger too.
I'll explain everything, so please. And I do a little bow as a sign of respect, and I go back down the stairs and I try to find her friends.
Okay.
Where's Alana? Where's
Okay.
Alana?
So go ahead, give me. Well, I'm not gonna have you do a perception check. As you're coming down the stairs, you look over, see Olana, Halceris, and Echo with Biscuit over by one of the doors.
Okay, I saunter on over there.
Okay, Steel, go ahead, give me another lockpick check real quick, please.
Another lockpick check, or okay. I guess I'll use my last luck point for that.
Okay.
Dirty 20.
Okay, this time takes you a few minutes this time, but you're eventually able to just chink, and the drawer pops open a little bit.
Do I hear Biscuit at the door?
Not quite yet. So timeline wise, they're actually on their way to the door right now.
Yeah. That's fine. Okay. What do I find in the drawer?
So you open it up and you see a bunch of just leaflets of paper, but on the top you see a letter that seems to be written and addressed to someone. Looking at it, however, what languages do you speak?
Ooh, a few now. Hold on. I have. Goodness gracious, can't see anything. Common, Giant, Goblin, and Primordial.
Okay, so this is written in a language that you do not understand.
Do I see any other documents that would tell me whose desk this is?
You do see a few other kind of scattered documents that seem very unimportant, but you get an idea that this may actually be Ulrich Devereaux's office.
I'll pocket it. I seem to remember Halceris being okay at that, at figuring out what the language is. Anything else? At this point now, knowing that it's his space, I would like to make another look around for like any like secret doors or somewhere he might hide something more important to him besides his desk.
Okay, so at this point you hear a little boom at the door.
Yeah, I recognize that. I'll go open I'll just go open the door and usher everybody in real fast.
Okay. So for the rest of you, as you're standing there and you hear the door start to creak open, you all hear what sounds like metal clanking outside as the sound of a large contingent of guards seem to be approaching the house or the domicile. You guys just proceed into the room?
We're just waiting here. Come on, get in here.
I will stand out in the... I have cast Arcane Eye, so I'm going to use it. So I will move to the other rooms just to look inside.
Okay.
I go, Halceris, I need you to look at something.
Right.
So you guys
I will
going into
go
the room
inside.
you going into the room that Steel's in.
Sure.
Okay, Echo.
I will follow in after Steel.
Okay. Okay, and then Taryn.
If I can slide in.
Yeah, you'll be able to slip in there as well.
All right.
Okay. So you guys work your way in to the room and you close the door behind you just as you hear, it sounds like a large group of guards come into the main foyer, and you hear a familiar voice, the captain of the guard. All right, we are here looking for Ulrich Devereaux. And then you hear the crowd start to talk and chatter on the other side of the door, but it's all fairly muffled because you guys are now all in this office. Again, there's a fire in the back, very, very well lit. It looks like it's been roaring for a while. It's got some fresh logs on there. No windows or anything, and you see Steel has kind of been going through this room a little bit.
This doesn't look incriminating.
Why would it? I don't know what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm. I will, as I'm inside, my eye is still out there.
Yep.
I am keeping it moving, and it's going through the party. It can move 30 feet at a time, but it is just going to keep a lookout out front. And when it reaches the other door, I'd like it to peek just either underneath the floorboard or through the keyhole and just take a gander at what's in the other rooms as well.
Okay, so, well, the first thing it notices, or you notice through it, is you see the guards coming in and spreading out. It looks to be about 30 guards. And they're going around talking to the various patrons. And you actually see a couple of them over talking to a woman and a young man that you kind of make out might be Rose's mom and brother. You see the captain of the guard is talking to them. But you also notice that a small group of individuals who are nearby the door that you guys just went through are talking to the guard, one of the guards, and pointing at the door you guys just went into.
Once everybody is inside, I would like to grab another fuzzball out of my bag and toss it on the ground.
Okay.
You gave me the silliest bag of Pokemon, and I'm going to use it. Ooh, what is that number? Let's see. Got a 6, and that is a giant badger. I got a bigger badger.
Oh,
Yes.
Okay. So an even larger badger than what you had before pops out.
Bloop.
Wow.
Great day. This is a great day.
So this thing is almost about 5 feet.
It's the size. It should. Well, it's a medium. So
Yeah.
Isn't it about? It's about the same size as Biscuit at this point.
Yeah.
Right.
Roughly.
Yeah.
Little shorter because it's a little stockier, but
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But long and wiry.
yep.
Okay, fun. I'm excited.
All right.
Okay.
How
What the
serious
fuck
are
is
you?
that supposed to do? The guards are coming here.
What are you talking? Trust in the bag
Process.
of fuzzballs. Trust in the bag of fuzzballs. It's important. Okay. Anyway, we need to look around and see if there's like any hidden doors or anything in here, because I feel like this dude's up to something fishy.
Yeah, the guards would probably look too, who are coming in the fucking room.
Yeah, but we should probably find it first. I'm just saying.
wait, you can't cast invisibility on all of us?
Wait.
No, I can do one
Oh
of us.
What you got, Taryn?
And I'm gonna use disguise self. I'm gonna become a guard.
Can you cast invisibility on me? Because I can't lie. I'm really bad at it.
I will cast invisibility on you as well.
So disguise self, is that
Is-
concentration?
No, disguise self is just a one action. It just does the thing, and it's good for 1 hour. And and invisibility is concentration for up to 1 hour.
Okay. And it does change your clothing and stuff too. Okay.
I'm a very tall, pointy elfed guard.
I look at them and I'm like, we are on the good side here.
They haven't proven that to be the case.
Stefan is outside. I can see outside right now. Stefan is here.
And he
to
was a
arrest-
jerk who tried to arrest you. Okay. Okay. all
No,
right.
here's the
I'm-
person working.
As you're having this argument, the door. Hey.
Hello.
What,
Hey, hello.
what are y'all doing in here? This ain't part of the
Waiting.
party.
I have found these folks
No,
enjoying the party in here.
Stop it. we
Who are you?
we're
My name is
wait.
Guard Stefan.
I look at
I
Hellsaris.
leave
I'll just
the
look at
room.
Hellsaris.
I
Give me a
leave the room.
deception check, Steele.
I ain't look at Hellsaris. I'm like,
Do I get an advantage with the
No.
disguise? No.
No, because they're actually working against you.
How many guards are in the room right
I just
now?
meant the disguise. The disguise helping out.
Right, but their reactions
you-
are kind of negating the
How many guards are in the room?
about 30. Oh no, the room you're in, just one.
Oh,
That is
Steve.
oh my god.
Outside, there's about 30 of them.
I got a 15.
Outside in
on my
general, or
deception.
outside waiting outside the door.
Well, no, they're out mingled within the party.
They're
And
questioning
like
people.
Yeah, they're
deck the soldier or the guard and just like.
So the
oh,
guard
okay.
looks at you, is like,
Fucking-
I ain't seen you before. But get these people out there. We need to find Ulrich. And he kind of turns around, leaves the door open.
I'm walking out.
I'm like, I follow Hellsaris because
Well, since I'm invisible, like, are we looking for trap doors or hidden doors?
I'm gonna start investigating since I'm a guard.
Okay.
I will also look since there's nothing to lose. No one can see me.
Taryn.
I'm following Hellsaris.
Okay.
I had an alibi, had a reason to be in there, but I follow Hellsaris. Olana,
Yep.
Olana, come, let's
Okay.
come on.
So, Steele, go ahead. Give me the investigation. Echo, how are you helping? You're invisible.
I
So,
am.
How are you assisting?
Well, Steele had said like closets or like or anything, right? Or hidden doors. Is that what you were
Right.
saying?
Yep.
So I'm just gonna be like feeling against the wall and seeing if there's anything as well.
Okay. But how are you communicating with Steele?
Is there anybody else in the
Can you
room?
hear me, right?
So they left the
Yeah.
door open.
So I know where Steele is, and I'll just be
Okay.
like, hey, it's
Okay.
me. What are we looking for?
All right. Go ahead. Give me investigation with advantage.
I also tell her you might want to try to be as quiet as possible. They can still hear you. And we got a 22 on investigation.
Okay, so with the 22, you start looking through. You're looking through the cabinets again. You're checking the back for any hidden doorways and stuff like that. You're looking under the desk for any hidden buttons or mechanisms, and you're not finding anything. But as you're looking around, you notice a very particular flicker of the fire, as if maybe some breeze kind of blew it from the back of the fireplace.
You're muted.
I did it. 50th episode. I finally pulled a steal. Okay. So I'm going to call Biscuit and be like, hey, is that where it's coming from? The smell?
So he goes over there. Go ahead, give me a perception check for Biscuit, but this is going to be at disadvantage, mainly because of the fire is still roaring in the fireplace.
Okay. For him, that's a 12. But I just meant what he was smelling from the
Right.
outside of the door.
Yeah, no, I'm tracking. And he just kind of starts sniffing around it, and then he starts kind of moving around the rest of the room sniffing. And then he stops at the chair to the desk.
Smells like Ulrich, right? I look at him.
And he kind of shakes his head almost, basically telling you no. And then he kind of rubs his head up against your leg.
Does it smell like anyone familiar? I'm asking Biscuit that, but I'm like whispering it.
Yeah, and he just kind of he kind of lays down, puts his head on the chair, and just starts whining a little bit.
I'm gonna look to see if there's any like secret. No, actually, can I just look into the back of the fireplace? What do I have on me? Can I dump some water on the fire and see if it goes out?
How much water do you want to dump on it?
I mean, probably a water skin full.
Okay.
I'm just trying to determine if it's magic fire or not.
Right. So you don't, and as soon as the water hits it, it sizzles.
Yeah.
And so you kind of dump the whole water skin on it, and you put the fire out mostly. I mean, the embers are still there, and they're kind of hot, and ash and water start to run out of it now.
And does the smoke, does it move?
It does. So you see the smoke kind of almost being blown from the back of the fireplace out into the office.
I will try to look to see if I can find a latch or anything to open it.
Okay.
Or just push on it.
Yep. Go ahead. Give me investigation.
Natural 20, making it a 30.
Okay. Yeah. So as you do that, you're feeling around, you're looking, and you do find the seam of what looks to be a small portal of like entrance of some kind, but you're not finding a handle or any kind of mechanism to open it until you reach down under where the wood was. So right underneath and it's still kind of hot to the touch, but you find a small little lever down there.
I was gonna say, I'm gonna reach, actually, just to be safe, I'm gonna reach into my bag and grab one of my forge gloves and then reach down and pull the lever.
So as you pull the lever,
save kids, only grab fire with the appropriate tools.
I was literally gonna be like, oh, you don't need gloves, and I'm gonna put my hand on it.
So as you do that, we're gonna go out to Tavern and Halceris. You guys walk out, you see the crowd out there, all the groups kind of being questioned by the guards as the music has kind of stopped playing, and the overall joy of this ball seems to have stopped as you overhear the various guards inquiring about the whereabouts of Ulrich. What are you three doing?
I'm looking for
you two. You and Alana.
Well, I was gonna say lean over to Halceris. I'm like, so I talked to Rose's mother and brother.
I spit my drink.
I say this in a whisper. Whoa, man, you gotta
Out loud.
Yeah, you gotta take it easy on the drinks, man. As I look around, so no one's listening. Okay. Yeah, so they were supposed to meet us in one of the offices before all of this.
I'm so confused. This was supposed to be simple. I go and I'm looking for Captain. You said Stefan was here?
Yes,
He
Captain,
was leading this group?
He was.
I'm going to look for Captain Stefan.
Oh,
Meanwhile, my eye is still looking in all the other rooms.
Right. So as your eye goes in the other rooms, it seems to be other offices.
Okay.
And each one of them seems to be empty at the moment.
Then it's as it goes in and comes out, then it's just taking aerial footage of everybody, looking specifically for, because I don't know about Mordain members being here, but I do know about Boromar's being here.
Mhm.
So I am keeping an eye out for any of the halflings I spotted and what they're up to, just because that's the only threat I am currently aware of.
So you do catch a few of them sneaking out
Okay.
when they can.
Yep.
Trying to get
Cops
away.
arrive, they're dipping.
Yep.
Gotcha.
Echo, what are you doing while this is going on? All right, we'll come back to Taryn. What are you doing while this is going on?
Yeah, that's what I was. So I whispered that to Halceres. I'm walking with Halceres over to Stefan because he was talking to her mother and brother, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so I'm just my eyes there and just walking with Halceres.
Okay.
Quick sweeps, just make sure to just keep an eye on the surroundings, but
Okay.
yeah, heading there with Star.
Yeah, so for you, most of the crowd, it's just they're all really concerned and caught off guard by this large amount of guards that showed up here. Echo.
I was with Halceres, no?
Yeah.
Not
You were
Halceres,
in-
sorry, with Steel. I was with
Steel.
Steel.
Oh, right. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's why I was like
Absolutely.
confused.
You guys keep going separate directions. It's confusing me.
Split the party. It's the best plan.
Yeah. So Halceres, as you start to approach, you do see Captain Stefan talking with a tall lady, gray hair, Rose mom, and her younger brother Alistair, who this is your first time seeing both of them, I think. Yep. But you can very clearly see the family resemblance as they have actually taken their masks off now.
I will do the same. I will remove my mask as I approach the captain. Captain Stefan. I will remove my mask.
Halceres, it's a pleasure to meet you again.
It's a pleasure to see you, sir.
Have you seen Ulrich?
Apologies. I have seen him earlier. We were unable to file a report to send to you. He accosted with Roe off the deck of our ship. I am not certain to where they have traveled or transpired, but
How
He's
long
taken
ago
her.
was this?
a number of hours. We came here in search of her, but have so far found nothing.
And you see him turn to Steele's mom and Alistair, and neither of you have heard anything from him or Ro as of today. And they both shake their heads no.
I do a
Insight check.
Insight on whom?
Both of them.
Okay, give me
When,
insight.
when that question is asked, so just give a looky look. I had the gift of luck as well, right? The luck thingy.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll use that.
Okay.
Thank you. That's advantage, right?
Yep.
Well, 17.
Okay, so with the 17, they like you see them, they each have a look of concern on their face. Like they both seem to be trying to puzzle together what's going on here.
I do a formal Lyrander greeting. It is a pleasure to make your acquaintance, although I wish it were under better circumstances. My name is Halceres Ainsworth. I am an associate of Ro, but you may know her as Natalia Devereaux.
And you see Alistair kind of turns to you and he bows. I'm Alistair. And then you see Ro's mother kind of turn to you, looks at you, very almost cold eyes in a way. I am Narissa Devereaux. So you know my daughter.
I have had the benefit and good privilege to know her as of late.
And how is she?
Missing her mother and her family.
I see. You are going to find her for us?
Finding her is my top priority as of yet.
Well, then I wish you luck. Please bring my daughter back to me. I do miss her so much.
Can I insight check?
Yeah, I was about to insight check on that as well, please. Actually, both of them, because I want to see what Alistair's doing, how he's reacting to all of this as well. But yeah, definitely insight check on that.
Okay.
Uh, 10.
Okay.
8. Damn it! I was about to say.
It
Dang.
it is a mother who very much misses her daughter.
And Alistair. Alistair.
Alistair seems he's a little more antsy because he's already come across her. He's talked to her. He's had a conversation with her. He stabbed her.
Oh yeah.
He stabbed her. He stabbed you. He's already kind of been wrapped up in a little bit of what's been going on since you all arrived here.
I'd like to play on that, please. I'll let Alistair finish this conversation, but I'll chime in.
Of course. Have you had any luck in your investigations thus far, Captain Stefan? Madam, if you have any idea of any places that Ulrich might venture to, anything that comes to mind, it would be, I will hold my symbol, I will pull from my lapel, my holy symbol. I am a vassal of the sovereign host, and I only wish to help. And as I do, I would like to channel divinity.
Okay.
Also, yeah, while he's doing that, and I just peek out from behind him because Olana and I were standing to both sides, like royal security.
Okay.
So I just peek out and I said, "Wait, Alistair, didn't you tell your mother that you've seen Ro already?"
And he just kind of stops, looks at, and you see Narissa just kind of shoot a look down at Alistair.
Yep.
And I turn to the other two. Well, I guess the answer to that is a no.
Now Halceris, channel divinity. Which one are you using?
I would like to read her mind.
Okay, that's a saving throw, right?
Wisdom 17.
$19.
Do I have anything like? No, I don't. Damn it.
So you try as you're doing that, you kind of and you try to reach into her thoughts, and something is stopping you.
But my question still stands unless she said something.
So remind me again, what was?
If there is any place that Ulrich
right.
would retreat to, anything that comes to mind.
Well, since his alliance with the Boromars, he may be down in their area. And you see Captain Stefan looks over at one of the guards and signals him to come over. And you recognize the same young guard before that had the book that's taking all these notes. He's got like 4 or 5 loose pieces of paper, all that look like they got fresh ink on them.
We've been doing double time, I imagine.
Oh yeah, no, he's earning his paycheck.
Right. Thank you kindly, much appreciated. Captain Stefan, there were some members of the Boromar clan here. I was able to assess as we were walking through. I imagine reputable guests, of course, but one cannot be too sure in these times.
Yeah, we'll have to send a contingent down to the cogs, I guess, to go root them out, see if they know anything. We'll go talk to Sidon and see if he's willing to pass up any information. Won't be cheap.
Unfortunately, the truth never is. But until that time, Alistair, I think it is probably best for you to take your mother somewhere private.
Yes, I'll bring her back upstairs and I will guard her myself.
It's because you should. Anyway, I will put a hand on him. the sovereign shine bright in your sun. And as I do, my eye just lists behind them, and it's just going to follow them where they go.
Okay. And all right, Taryn, you got making any more jabs?
Don't think I have any more jabs. No hooks, no uppercuts, no.
Okay.
Nah, I don't got them.
All right. What are you two? Where are you two head? Oh, I knew you had something.
I hadn't. I lost it. As they walk away, and it said, "You two have a wonderful talk. Hope to see you later."
Alistair kind of shoots you his look.
And I give him a wink and a smile. Well, that's for stabbing me in the back. As I whisper to Halceris and turn away.
Okay. And then where are you all heading?
Can I come out the door and say, Captain, and friends, I think you should come take a look at this.
Well, you haven't flicked the lever yet. So at this
Okay.
point, you guys are still, you and Echo are still searching through, and you're looking over the fireplace right now. So Halceris and Taryn, you guys head into the room. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, they're back to the party.
So now, were you flicking the lever before you were coming out, Steel? I know you put your glove on. You reached to the lever.
Yes, that was my assumption.
Okay. So as you, and so as
Can I check
Halceris,
it? Can I check it for traps before I
Oh,
snag
yes,
it?
no, absolutely.
17.
Okay. 17 does not appear to be trapped.
Okay, I pull it.
Right. You flick the lever, and the back part of the fireplace, you hear the stone on stone creak, and it kind of slides back a little bit and then starts to lower itself down as you just get a waft of mildewy, musty air hit you. And then Biscuit pops his head up and looks down the hall and kind of works his way towards it and starts to growl.
Sounds
Should
good.
we go in? Like check
Just-
This is when Halceris and Taryn and Alana show up into the room as well.
Halceris, get the captain. I want to see this too.
Look, do I see Stefan or Stefan?
Yeah, so he's still out there kind of walking around, talking to the different guards, guiding them around the different areas.
I'll drop the
Stefan.
disguise at that.
He hears you, he kind of looks up and comes walking over. Yeah. What's up, Halceris?
Steele appears to have found something.
And he signals to the little scribe who comes over, and they walk in and they see the opening in the back of the fireplace. All right. You guys found one of their escape tunnels, maybe?
There's definitely someone or something in there. And I point at Steel, or at Biscuit.
All right, well, we can send a few guards in there.
Why don't we go check it out? They can come with us, but they might. I don't want to put anybody's lives in danger, and we have a friend who needs to be found.
So you all are gonna go in?
Yep.
Yes, y'all are proving yourselves more than capable.
You just hear somewhere in the
Yeah, you just heard
vast
it,
room,
yep.
just hear, yep.
Yep.
This
Ghosts.
We got this.
And you see him just kind of sit there for a second. We got a lot going on here. I got to send people down to the cogs. Got to send a lot of people down there with what's been going on recently.
Please be careful. There's more of the tattooed cult members around. They were milling about the party, but they could be a threat.
They were?
Yes. At least 5. Perhaps more.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're trying to find where they're based out of here in the city. Spread really thin. If you guys could go down there, just let us know. Don't try not to kill no one.
I strongly suggest you check every person in the party for a tattoo.
That's one of the
Their-
things
on
we're
their
looking
hands.
for. After that incident at the temple, those were not gods. I'm sure you figured that out by now.
Unfortunate, but true.
We've run into them before here. But we need to go.
All right, you all be safe. Good luck. And
And
you find Ulrich, bring him alive.
We can.
It depends on him.
And you all go through the entrance.
Yep.
And Echo, you're still invisible, right?
I am.
Okay.
For an
Well, I'm
hour.
gonna ask. I'm like, should I come with you or should I stand guard? Even though I am invisible.
No, come. We
And
should use that
you
invisibility.
see the captain like, where the hell what?
Hi, it's a me.
special magic. Don't worry about it.
He rubs his temple. He knows magic. I mean, they've got people within the guard that can use it, and he's just adventurous and turns around.
Before he leaves and before we go down the tunnel, I look at him and I say, if you can spare, can you put a few guards to watch over Alistair and Erisa? Alistair's formidable, but couldn't help to have a few extra hands.
Recent events, yeah, we'll put a detail on them.
All right.
Then you all proceed into this short. I don't know. Most of you actually have to, especially the taller ones of you, have to actually either really hunch down and almost duck walk through.
I start to go under, and then I remember I've got a crossbow attached to my shoulders, and I go, oh crap. And then I take it out.
And you see one of the guards just kind of like, and just kind of shakes his head at you. It's like, whatever.
And I'm
Give it
gonna
a breach.
hand Telsaris the letter and say, I hope you can read this, and maybe we can read it on the way.
I wanted to take a peek because I'm nosy.
All right. Alceris, what languages do you speak?
Celestial, Common, Draconic, Elvish, Gnomish, and Primordial.
You do not recognize it either.
Ooh, can I take a look?
What languages do you speak?
I speak Common, Draconic, Dwarvish, Elvish, and Thieves' Cant.
You don't recognize it either.
Can I see? I know.
What are your languages?
Common.
You can read it. No, I'm just kidding.
Wait a minute, you don't know Halfling? That's sad.
Can I make a history check? Like, Brandon knows the difference between like Mandarin and like other languages.
Wait, do
So,
I
like,
know giant now, or like, am I familiar with giant?
Nope. So that is the only reason you're able to read that book is because of the enchantment that was put on it.
Okay, but I can't read
Right.
giant.
Speaking of that book.
Dang.
Oh, speaking of that book. Olana, can you read this?
Oh, we'll get to that later
Yeah.
because this is not the time to be.
Oh no,
pulling
no,
that
I was
book
talking
out.
about it. I was talking about a letter. I was talking about
Yeah.
a letter, not the book. It just gave me the idea.
But can I just history check? Can I figure out what language? I can't read it, but could
Right.
I guess what language it is?
Yep. Give me the history.
21.
With a 21, you've seen this language before. You've never been able to read it yourself, but in your studies, you've come across different texts.
It's Sumerian.
No, it's abyssal.
Ah.
So close with that primordial.
This is written in the language of the demons.
Demons, eh?
Scary.
Might know a guy. What?
Sorry.
And so as you look at that letter, and you
I'm still
head,
invisible, by the way.
you head into this small little tunnel in the search for your friend Ro. That's where we're gonna pick up next week.
Not next week. The next.
No.
Next
okay.
week we don't. I do not believe we are streaming next week.
No.
I thought we still were.
No, we're not.
Okay.
Next time.
So
Next time.
so not next week, but 2 weeks then. Okay. Just make sure you're following us on Twitter, and we'll push the information out with that as well. But yeah, this is a great place for us to stop for the evening as the search for Ro has begun. Why did she leave? Why was she just run off to her uncle and disappear? All these answers will be revealed in one of the future episodes. Before we go ahead and take off, though, go raid one of our friends. We do have a few reminders for everybody, especially about some of the upcoming shows we got going on here at the Games Tavern. We got a lot going on.
Yes, we do. Tomorrow night we have Whiskey, Magic, and Destruction. They return at 7 p.m. Eastern. Having successfully robbed a wizard, the party departs from Daggerford in haste, just as a mysterious entity proclaims himself Regent of Ulstar Mortis. Has covered the town in dark storms, and an undead start rising and walking the streets. This Saturday, we also have the RPG Short Shots. They are taking a break, but they will return on the 9th of July, starting at 12 p.m. Eastern, with White Plume Mountains as the Dungeon Crawl July. And we have the Omega Files. They are back on Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern with the Call of Cthulhu in the modern era. Several people wake up with kidneys missing, and have found themselves now trapped in a mysterious lab. They must figure out what is going on and how to escape with their lives.
The question is one of them named Charlie?
Yes.
There's a Candy Mountain.
He's a horse.
Don't forget that if you want to catch up on all that before, we get to that point, you can head over to YouTube and you can subscribe. You can leave some likes. You can leave some nice comments, and you can catch up on all your favorite shows here at the Games Tavern. Everything you do helps bring more people here to the tavern, and we can do more fun things. So head over there. Make sure that you subscribe.
Yep. No, absolutely. And what about our good friends there at 1985?
Well, get this. All right, guys, be sure to visit 1985games.com and check out their mystery dice packs and other great tools for your games. And if you use our special show code Dirty Deeds 1985, no spaces, you can get a 10% discount on your purchases.
10%?
Yes, 10%.
10%?
10%.
Yeah, see, I remember 10%, but didn't we have something that was double that?
Yeah, I'm about to make things twice as cool.
Oh, well, also, though, don't forget 1985 is going to do the other 10% on top of that.
So 10%.
Oh
on
yeah,
10%.
if you buy
if you use
stuff in
it- if you-
July, they'll
yeah,
donate
and-
10%.
Yep.
So many percentages.
Just-
But
Yeah,
I'm about
um,
to make things twice as
The
cool.
donation for that is going to Game to Glow from 1985 Games.
Ooh. Grow.
games to
Game
grow.
Grow. Wow.
Grow.
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 Yeah. Game to
Concept.
Grow
Grow.
with your 10% by donating that 10% too.
Yep.
Ooh, 10%.
But that's 20. And something else.
That's
was
20. Speaking of 20,
20.
I'd like to say a huge shout out and thank you, considering this is our 50th episode, but a huge thank you to our wonderful friends at Shard Tabletop for sponsoring our show, Dirty Deeds. Please go to the link in chat, check it out yourself, and use the code TGTShard20 to get your, get this, 20% discount on your DM Pro and other subscriptions. That's right, folks, 20%.
20%.
Yep. 20%. But with that,
A whole lot of percent.
I mean, we were only at 80% today, but we'll be back in full strength again soon to continue the search for Ro and find out what is going on in Sharn.
It's a whole lot of balloon.
All right, we'll see you all either next week or in a couple weeks. We'll figure it out. we'll let you all know. Stay dirty, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.